Hello everyone, in this video I will be designing my dream Sims 4 house. Now I should mention that no matter how much I try to dream about my dream house, I never could fully visualize it. Like in this house I forgot a few things, or there was just no way of me being able to put it in what I wanted, but I did the best with what I could. So we first chose the biggest lot, of course. I'm actually very torn between the idea of living in those small homes, even the mobile ones, and the idea of living in luxury, like hosting gatherings and charity events. So I'm actually quite a nervous person, so realistically I will have electric fences, security cameras, security doors and bars over my windows. I've entertained the idea of every second room having a panic room so that if anyone breaks in, we just pop into a bookcase or something. Which it's excessive, but even now, me living in a normal middle class house and at 19, if I hear a sound on the other side of the house when I'm home alone, you can bet that I'm grabbing a weapon and walking around my house to see if anybody broke in. But I always just find out that it is the wind, and the wind blew something over or slammed the door, So yeah. I'm currently working on the little porches, as you can see. I used to have a porch in my house. It was torn down, but when I did have it, it was my favorite thing, because I kind of just like the idea as a kid of being inside while being outside, because I liked outdoors, but I didn't like the dirt of outdoors. So it was my way of being outside without being outside. So I really enjoyed it. So I would want it for my dream house one day as well. So I can't tell if you can tell at this point, but I'm going for a mixture of modern and homey. I've never liked the crisp whiteness, clean modern. Every time I've seen that, I've kind of just thought to myself, add a rug somewhere or add some color. But I've also never liked the clutterness of some homey homes. So I tried to put the aspect of what I like of both in this house. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job of making it quite modern, but also have still a bit of a homey feel. I think there would be still a bit more clutter though in my real life house, but yeah. The kitchen is something very new in what I desire. I've always wanted a big kitchen just because small kitchens deter me for some reason. I think it's kind of the feeling of claustrophobia, like everything feels like it's on top of you when you're doing the dishes or when you cook, there's not much space to put everything around. So yeah, no, I've always just wanted a big kitchen so that, I'll enjoy the process of cooking, I'll enjoy the process of cleaning up after myself. It's just, yeah, no, it's always been something for me. But what's new is the cabinets. The cabinets are green, a little out there, but I watched Mrs. Kate here on YouTube, who recently made her kitchen pink because she moved to this house in Hawaii. And I looked at this and I thought, I don't know how this is going to go. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's quite nice actually. Not personally my style, but it's nice, And so here I am in this house entertaining the idea of a colorful kitchen. Paired with the right electronics and decor, I think it would be absolutely beautiful. So I think I would like a colorful kitchen. I've always wanted a fireplace. Never have I had one. Aunt has one, and when it was cold day when she was hosting, it was so nice gathering around the fire and talking. So that's kind of why I want one. And of course, we need the table, coat rack and mirror that is by the front door. So here I was really struggling with figuring out where to place the dining table, but I eventually got it there. By now you should notice every room is kind of being divided by color. It has quite an open floor plan, so I needed some other way of separating the rooms, so I decided to go with color. The dining room is blue, the kitchen is green, and the lounge is a yellow cream color. Then there's the second dining room for when there is guests and you need that extra seating. Could also be, the infamous kiddie table. So, yeah. The bathrooms all have the same color palette, a brown, cream, and white. Here we have a study, specifically the kids' study room. So they have a room dedicated to school so that when they leave it, they can relax and essentially keep the stress in there. I've entertained the idea of homeschooling my future kids, so the study would be useful for that too. Because let's be real here, if I could afford this kind of house one day, I will be able, more than likely be able to afford homeschooling too. So yeah, no, the only thing though is, of course, if I had this kind of house, it means I would need to work hard, and I don't think I would have the time for it. But let's just, in this dream world with this dream house, pretend I have all the time and money in the world. So yeah. No, we're busy working with the stairs. I was quite struggling with it. I wanted it to be fancy, and so that's why I was trying to do all these curves and stuff, but then I just gave up. So yeah, now it's just a normal staircase. Now I'm busy figuring out the layout. I had it perfect, then realized it's not perfect because sleepovers exist for kids, and family, friends, like to travel, and they would want to come see you, and they would need to stay the night or the week. So I had to squish a guest room in there, so both of the kids now have a smaller room. One is significantly, well, not significantly, but a bit smaller than the other one. So you'll see now how I compensate for that. I quickly placed the wood floors, wallpaper, and windows. I've also always wanted 2 kids, specifically a girl and a boy, but as you all know, the reality can be always different. So anyways, but again, in this dream world, we'll just do with what I've always wanted. So in the girls' room, I went with purple instead of the classic pink. I threw in a guitar in there because music is so good for a child's brain development. And as I was thinking that, I remembered I play piano, so I threw one downstairs. I wanted the guest room to have no personality, so that when guests come in, it's a blank canvas essentially. So yeah, you wouldn't want a lot of stuff in there to distract them. Kind of when they go in there, then they're all relaxed. The boys' room is grey instead of the classic red or blue. The thing above his dresser, I'm just gonna pretend is from his favorite video game, because I'm not the greatest at doing mail things in The Sims, like mail rooms and mail just designing guys. So I was really struggling with it, so I just said, okay, I'm just gonna put this in and pretend it's from some game. Yeah, no. And once again, a musical instrument, a violin. I most likely would teach one kid at least the piano, just to save some money. But secondly, have you heard the violin when it's at the beginning stage? It's quite something, I must say. It's not the most beautiful thing to hear. So yeah, but again, with the whole time and stuff, I probably won't even be able to do that. But again, in this dream world, we'll just pretend. I just threw in a punching bag in there, when in reality I want a gym room in my future house. I wouldn't want to spend money on a gym membership, so yeah, it wouldn't really make sense for him to have his own punching bag, but it's there, it's done. I'm moving on from my losses. I just forgot about the fact that I want a gym in my house one day. And then I just threw in a very mediocre bathroom, and how I compensated for the fact he has a smaller room than his sister is that he gets a bath and then she gets the bigger room. So yeah. Now for the master bathroom, it's basically the same as all the other bathrooms. It's just now the best version of those kind of bathrooms. It's just the fancy one. And the bathroom, it's quite big, and the bedroom, it's quite big. I had no idea how to fill it in, so I just decided to make it serene, open, essentially. It's meant to not have many things, so your mind winds down and it's not overly stimulated. Because I've always believed the bedroom is where you need to chill. I've always wanted a walk-in closet, so here it is. Not much more to it than closets and mirrors, so let's just move on from that. And lastly, my favorite room, I would be a stay-at-home mom most likely, so I would need a workroom But even if I wasn't a stay-at-home, I would still like a room where I could work on personal projects like my book series that I'm currently working on and like painting commissions and such. There's two desks because I'm assuming my partner would own a computer, so that's his area. Best case scenario, he would have his own room, but I didn't feel like making a separate room for that. The idea's there, you know? So yeah, trying to make a seating area to listen to the piano, and then I realized that's kind of stupid, so I just made another separate seating area. Building a pool because I've always been jealous of people that have a pool, and it's my favorite form of exercise, so if I can afford it one day, then I will most definitely have it. So after struggling with the roof, I just kind of gave up on it and worked on the greenhouse. I've always believed in being able to self-sustain, so I would want Jojo tanks, solar panels, and a greenhouse, and compost bin, worm bin. And I would also like chickens, which I don't have the cottage living pack, and I believe you get chickens in there. So I kind of just represented the chickens with a duck area instead. There's a children's section, which is for the kids, but when they're the age to play that. But when they're no longer kids, then it would just kind of stay there for a few years, for like when guests are over and they still have young kids, I guess. So yeah. And then I finished off the garage, realizing too late I could have made it a double story, making the second story a home gym. But yeah, I think maybe I'll just do this kind of series where I do my dream house once every year to see how my taste changes. So next year I'll make sure to add the home gym. Then there is the outdoor seating area. It's all glass because I don't want wood to worry about, like rotting away in the rain. And I also wouldn't want plastic because just like after a while will become shit, you know? So yeah. Then there is the bra area. So I was thinking to myself, why is there so many dining rooms? As I was doing that, I was just like, yo, this is a lot of seating areas. So yeah. My favorite part, but also most tedious part, is bushes and flowers. It really tied the garden together, but also creating the pathways after also really tied everything together. A pathway is like one of the only ways to prevent patchy grass. I mean, there's kind of like, not really patchy grass, but when people like walk over grass and just like slowly becomes dead. So I wouldn't want that, so there's the pathways for people. Oh, so yes, here's my pond with ducks, which in real life would be a chicken coop with chickens. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me show you the final house. It's a little wonky, but it does the job. Bye!